is Vanessa Zamora. We are at PubCon Las Vegas 2008, and joining me now is Brad Geddes. He is founder over at BG Theory. Welcome, Brad, and thanks for taking the time to sit with us today.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa.
Absolutely. So we know of you from Local Launch, and BG Theory launched recently, correct?
Yeah, so we launched BG Theory about 4 months ago now.
Very recent. Okay.
Yeah, very recent move. So what we're doing is we are looking at agencies, advertisers, and especially aggregators who have a lot of clients, sometimes in the thousands of client bases, and large internal analyst teams. And so we're working with them mostly to educate their fulfillment teams and how they're doing things. We're also working with a lot of them on their product definition, their Salesforce positioning. We work with some platforms looking at how their platform is laying out for consumers. And then we also work with Google and do AdWords seminars, 8-day in-person seminars just about AdWords.
Excellent. So what are sort of the themes that you're seeing right now? What are some of the areas of focus that you're really sort of focusing in on that companies are having issues with, or these agencies are having issues with?
From the large agency standpoint and the aggregator standpoint, it's really getting their fulfillment teams enough education to do a really good job with marketing. So a lot of times it's even like the 101, 201 basic stuff. Make sure that the basics solid, because they're more often traditional media companies, whether a yellow page company or newspaper company, where they're used to being the medium. They publish the newspaper, they publish the yellow page book, they are the medium. In pay-per-click marketing and SEO, they're no longer the medium. They are now channel sales in some cases, or doing other sales to small businesses about marketing. And so they may have fulfillment teams of 20 to 100 people. And so keeping them updated with the changes, and we know Google and Yahoo like to tweak changes. They're constantly tweaking their systems, et cetera. So making sure they understand that, what's going on, and best ways to take advantage of that so their clients get the returns they're looking for.
Okay. What are some of the maybe proactive steps that people can take in terms of brand management? Safeguarding yourself before the flame or the fire. Before the flame, before the fire.
That would be getting engaged in the social to begin with.
Okay.
And so especially in the local business arena, brand management in the social almost starts at the review phase. It starts on the Yelp and the Yahoo local and the Google local from that review. It's common to see a company who had a 1-star review 4 years ago and never try to fix that. And as more consumers are using the local map systems, I mean, not even to Facebook yet, they're still on the local map systems, look at the major consumer base still. And local businesses aren't looking at that and saying, oh, look, we have an average rating of 1.5 stars in Yahoo Local. When someone sorts by rating and reviews, we don't show up any longer, or they see our review and they don't want to do business with us. So it often starts at the review phase for the local businesses, the smaller ones. The larger ones, of course, are adopting Twitter as different streams of communicating with clients or communicating with their user base, Facebook applications, so forth. Those are generally seen at the larger areas, whether it's the HPs and Dells and Apple, working more the larger ones, where the little businesses, A, they don't have the time to do it, B, they need to focus on more of the basics, which would be more the review phase.
Okay, I see. You also specialize in landing page optimization. You said you're speaking tomorrow, moderating or speaking?
I'm speaking
on landing page optimization.
Speaking on landing page optimization in 40 minutes.
Okay. Oh, today. Excuse
me.
Okay. So
today. Very soon from now.
Let's get on it and let's practice a little bit of what you're going to talk about. Then, what are some of the main points or takeaways of what
What's
you're planning
interesting?
on covering?
So my co-panelists work with some optimization companies, and so they're going to focus on the on-page changes, whether it's the color of the button and so forth. I think it's often important to take a step back and say, where should we send the traffic to in the first place? Should we be sending it to a product page? Should we send it to an informational page? Should we be sending it to the form page? And looking at where the traffic goes to at the very first step, and then optimizing each of those pages to see which one gives the longer return on investment.
So it's still all about testing then. Have certain usability factors changed in the last couple of years or months?
Not really. Usability has not changed its overall focus in quite some time. Now people make different tweaks and so forth. I think what's coming up more is looking more at the consumer side. Google and Yahoo have been preaching consumer relevance for years. And I think it's starting to trickle down more into the businesses looking at this and aligning themselves more on the relevant side. I think a great example is, take a query like candle burning times. Right? That's someone who went to Google and wants to know how long a candle is going to burn for. Maybe they're doing a dinner party, they need someone who's going to burn for 4 hours in length. An ad right now usually goes to a product page. So here's our taper candles. It's not what the consumer's looking for. They wanted to know what candle do I need first before I actually go buy it.
Sure.
So looking at the informational page, it says our tapers burn 2 to 3 hours, our photos 8 to 10 hours. Then they can go to the shopping cart from there because they've answered that first question. And I think more looking at where to send traffic for informational queries, ambiguous queries, is something that is becoming a lot more vogue right now, of looking at words that have been marginally monetized previously, and how do we take advantage of the full suite of keywords that people search for, the ways that we search.
So do you think search is changing? Do you think within the next 5 years, say, we're going to see a lot of changes in search, or do you think that those fundamentals are still going to hold strong throughout?
I think the fundamental of going to a search engine to find information about a question someone has, right? Well, if we're going to browse the web, we use Dig, we use Facebook, whatnot. People use search engines to find information. The interfaces might change. There's some interesting interfaces out there, but the premise of information retrieval in a quick manner and getting that information to someone, that premise I don't think will change whatsoever. The way we do some searches, the result sets, the universal search, that'll continue to evolve. But the underlying psychology of why we search is not going to change.
How do marketers adapt then to those coming changes, those couple changes though?
So the changes that do come out are almost always interface-based, whether it's Google's putting in more videos into the search results, or they're going to put maybe Google Knoll in the future into the search result. Looking at what is in a search result, what are consumers seeing, and then adapting from there. So if all of a sudden Knoll takes the place of Wikipedia and Knoll is all over Google search results, then marketers are going to look at, okay, we need to make sure we have a good Google Knoll page in this.
Yes.
Or as more videos are shown, okay, we need to make sure we put our videos on YouTube because Google features those more than some of the other video sites.
Sure.
And so really looking at what consumers see, and that's where we want to be. Marketers will always follow eyeballs.
Yeah, well, it sounds easy when you say it, but a lot of times I think marketers don't adapt to changing times. What tips do you have for marketers to always sort of be on the edge and looking out and changing as search changes and these things occur?
It's always important to put yourself in the consumer's shoes. How are some people searching? Look at different ways, different types of people search as well. We're in a retail season right now. And what's interesting about retail season is the person who's buying the product is not the product user. So most marketers showcase benefits for the product user. That's not who you're marketing to right now. You're marketing to the shopper.
Yes.
So your features are, can you buy 10 gift cards and send them to 10 different addresses in an easy place? Just check out 10 times. So it's always important to look at the consumer experience, and retail is a great example of that, and making sure you're marketing to the right segment, and then how are they interfacing with items. So always look at, segment your audience, and then examine each of those segments. Excellent,
thank you. So, on a lighter note, because we're so serious here, so intense in listening, what are you looking forward to most here at PubCon?
Looking forward most at PubCon. That's always, from a session standpoint, it will be, I'm going to answer it twice. I'll answer it twice.
I'll let you answer how you like.
Well, so from the session standpoint, the quality score session is always fun.
Okay.
Quality score changes constantly. It's evolving. On the party front, Search Bash will be great. Okay. Darren and Brandy always do a fantastic job with Search Bash. And of course, just the general hanging out in the bar, talking to people.
Yes, the networking.
Yeah, PubCon is a place where the people who actually do the work come to PubCon. And so it's the best place to find the tips and tricks of what's actually working in the marketing as opposed to sort of the high level perspective.
Absolutely. And me as well. So we'll have to make a toast to that later. Brad, it was great to meet you, and good luck with BG Theory. I know you do an excellent job, and good luck on your panel coming up here soon.
And thank you, Vanessa.
Absolutely. Brad Geddes.
There you go.
Geddes. I had Colin Bouchard. I said, oh, I have to say it like French then. Colin Bouchard.